So, growing up, I not only lived in Iowa, but I lived in the East Bay Area for a time being. I was about 5 when my mom's moved there, mostly because when you're a lesbian, you're expected to move to San Francisco for a little bit to sort of find yourself. It's similar to the way that Muslims have to make their pilgrimage to Mecca if they're financially able to in their lifetime. So, but while they were there, I fell in love with the street food of the Bay Area. So that's what I wanted to make tonight. I was looking to make some mini sourdough rolls filled with crab bisque, clam chowder, rice-a-roni on the side, Ghirardelli brownies for dessert. It was going to be great. So when I'm planning this a couple of nights ago, I'm like 3 or 4 of these bad boys deep, and I realize I can't spell most of those words with a hard buzz on. So I open up my phone, talk to Siri, and then I say, Alexa, find me street food from my Beiruts. And then Siri showed me a list of popular street foods in Lebanon's capital city of Beirut. So tonight we're gonna make falafel burgers. Roll credits! Okay, so falafel is one of the more popular street foods in the Middle East. It's gaining a lot more traction around the world because it's delicious, it is low in fat, high in protein, and vegetarian, really easy to adapt to different cultures. It's basically a large mixture of mashed up chickpeas, a shitload of spices, garlic, onions, cilantro, and parsley, all mashed together and then rolled into a ball or a slight patty and then just fried. It is delicious as all hell. They usually serve it in a pita bread, lavash, any kind of flatbread, and then cover it with a yogurt-based sauce or a tahine if you have any meat in it and you need to be kosher. It's a staple food all around the Middle East since it was invented in Egypt, going back to, I think, the Pharaoh times. It got popularized when Coptic Christians, they have those, didn't know, new kind of Christian just dropped, I guess, when they needed to use meatless foods during Lent. So what I'm going to do is take these, drain the water out of them. They've been soaking overnight. We're going to cut to a video right now of me soaking them overnight. All right, so back in the day, Pharaoh days, they would use mortar and pestle to grind up the chickpeas. That is slow going. I want this video to be under 20 minutes. So I'm going to use a food processor. I'm going to dump about half of these in. And then I'm going to toss in about 1/4 of an onion, some green scallions, a little bit of zucchini, and then a couple of handfuls of parsley and cilantro. And then we're going to go to the season. All right, for the seasonings, chickpeas by themselves are great. They do, however, happen to be a little bit bland. And some white people are bland, not this guy. So I'm going to add a fuck ton of seasonings. First one's ground cumin and garlic powder. Just use that sound effect, it makes it taste way better. Spanish paprika and ground coriander. Zest. I always add twice as much as you think you need if you're white. That's just a base rule of thumb. Ground white pepper and sesame seed. Wait, just sesame seeds, not sesame street. And then already added. Wait, did I add cayenne pepper? Fuck it. All right, that should be good enough. We're also going to add, to keep it holding it together, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a full tablespoon of minced garlic, not tablespoon, just a spoon, and then an egg. We're going to toss the cap on, and then we're going to pray all this fits into the food processor. As soon as I can figure out, Jesus Christ. Science! Pop it open and see how it looks. It's got a good amount of the flavoring. I'm going to add a little bit more spices. A little bit more ground turmeric, a little bit more garlic powder, and let's get a little bit spicy. Not too much. Last time Zack couldn't eat the Fuego Pollo Jalapeno Joe burger.
Tried to kill me.
Exposed. Perfect. Pulling them out. A little bit of kind of pasty. It holds its form pretty nice. Ideally, it should be like moist sand on the beach. When, despite you saying you wanted to go to Disney World, your parents took you to Florida, they went to a goddamn beach which they have near Iowa. They're not great ocean beaches, but we have them. Now to get it out, it's a fairly thick mixture, so I'm going to need to use a specialized utensil. Fun fact, the Germans, when they're building their words and whatnot, and their incredibly complex mechanical devices, they just mash two words together. So for refrigerator, they just say cold cupboard. For falafel spoon, you take the German word for spoon and you smash it into the German word for falafel, which is falafel. Now the thing about a falafel spoon in German is that is falafelufel.
Jesus.
Yeah, you hate me so much, don't you, Zach?
So much.
In case of emergency, break tape. We're going to take that, and then we're going to put this into a bowl where I can more easily get at it. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Clean those countertops later. They were due. Also, big shout out to Max Moline, one of the early boners. That's what I'm calling fans of this show. He got me a couple of knives and then this falafel. Or falafelufel. It's a falafelufel, so sorry. For Christmas.
Yeah,
thank you, Max.
Let's not anger any of those German viewers.
That's true. We do not like it when the Germans get angry. Next, the easy part, I hope, is going to be turning these bad boys into a ball. Then we're going to put them in my air fryer and then bake them for about half an hour. Alright. The key to sculpting falafel, I think, I tried reading the Mediterranean cooking blogs and a lot of them weren't in English, so we're going to kind of wing it, is to get in there with clean hands, form into balls or patties. Since I'm making burgers, I'm going to make patties that are a little bit larger than the standard size. They're mostly the size of, I would say actually about this spice lid and this thickness, usually served on appetizer trays in the Middle East. I'm going to make one that's approximately hamburger sized, so we can just crack those on top of a bun with a nice fried eggplant slice. So, start out with one, see how it holds its form. The texture on this is wild, by the way. Now the blogs all agreed, that I could read, that you don't want to smack it down too hard, so it'll maintain a nice, light, and airy kind of crust to it. Otherwise it gets too dense and it makes chewing it sort of a chore instead of a pleasure. I'm going to take some seasoned breadcrumbs. I took cayenne pepper, garlic salt, and regular breadcrumbs with some red pepper flakes that I got from the Casey's gas station. And then just coat the top of it. Gently flip it. And then we're going to take this bad boy and then slide it over here onto the air crisper. Now, you're going to wonder, what are these things on it? These are vegetables. This is the more expensive part of it, honestly, because there's a time and a place for all vegetables to be in season, and January in Iowa is not it. Slide that right on there. We're going to make veggie kebabs to go with this. Kebabs are one of the oldest things in the world, simply because humanity realized pretty early on putting something in your hand into the fire is a good way for the wolves to eat you. So they put things on sticks and then put the things over the fire. I'm going to guess it happened right around the time we invented the wheel and prostitution. Probably about then.
If you had to estimate the size, like what would you say? Is that like a third of a pound, a quarter pound? What are you thinking?
I'd say hockey puck size. I can't get a good reading on what this is pound-wise. I'd say it's between 6 and 8 ounces.
Okay.
So like a decent-sized hamburger. And then as this cooks, this is also going to help seal in some of the water, so it'll be nice and moist on the inside. Ideally, we're going to end this with a nice video of me chop one of these in half and it's steaming up in the camera like one of those Instagram filters. Which, by the way, is my backup job if being a theater major didn't work out. I wanted to be an Instagram influencer. Now I sell paint. Cut. Alright, perfect. So now I've got my 4 burgers right up on here with the veggie skewers. We're going to take these and then just put them right in here into the oven so they can cook. You don't have an air crisper because your mom doesn't love you like mine does. Third favorite. You can use a regular pan and then just pan fry them with something covering the top. Lid. That's what the kids are calling it. Alright, so take some olive oil. I got regular olive oil from the store, but then I listened to 2 different podcasts on the way home, so now it's extra virgin. And then you're going to take a sliced up eggplant, like so, about 1/2 inch thick, and then just let it kiss the sides, and then put it back in your box. Yeah, there's a high percentage chance I'm going to burn myself, so go ahead and film this.
You got it.
Alright. Alright, so I also have some yellow squash. I'm going to pan sear this and put a slice on the burgers, and then I'm going to bake these oiled up eggplant slices. We're going to season them first, then I'm going to put them flat into a baking pan, and then toss them in the oven with the burgers. Alright, so here's how you just lightning quick plate a bunch of sliced up eggplants. First, take your pan, spray down the pan. Slice them out. Perfect. Gonna drizzle them with a little bit of salt and garlic salt. Zest. It's gonna be my thing. Is this not been done with? Oh fuck, it has. Remember 2017? That guy got to be a meme. Well, fuck. I'll figure something else out. And then you take the leftover breading that you have from the falafel, and you sprinkle that on top as well. Zest. That's the thing. That's gonna be it. That's my new. That's my bam. Perfect. Take these, throw them into the oven with everything else. Now we're going over here to the yellow squash. Everyone has a favorite burner. This post was brought to you by the Front Right Burner Gang. And we're going to lightly salt the top of these as well. Zest. It's still on high.
Is that gas still pumping? Okay.
Yep, yeah. Now it's good. Thank you for assuring we don't die in a gas leak, Zach. And then I've already oiled this pan up. So we're going to let that one start cooking by itself as well. And I'm going to teach you how to make the Greek yogurt sauce. Alright, so for the yogurt sauce, that didn't sound good. Well, for the yogurt sauce, we're going to take a nice couple of big spoonfuls of strained Greek yogurt. This is a little bit more of a pricier option, but Greek yogurt prices are actually plummeting right now because Americans are developing, what do you know, actual culture. The difference between yogurt and white people, by the way, is that if you leave yogurt by itself, it'll develop more culture. Boom, roasted. We're going to add some sriracha sauce on top of that. Another dash of garlic salt. And some turmeric. And some dill weed. Difference, by the way, between seasonings, spices, and herbs is that seasonings are anything that change the flavor of a food. So salt is a seasoning, despite being a mineral. Herbs are the flavorful leaves of any plant that change the flavoring of a food. And spices are anything that's a part of a plant that changes the flavor of a food. So like turmeric and cumin are both made up from ground up seeds, making them spices, not herbs. Take all that together. Oh, and if we want to make Beirut a little bit more explosive, no, I did not say that. You're cutting that out, Zach. Add a little bit more of hot sauce. And then just stir it together. And then tend to the yellow squash whenever you remember to do that. If you don't, you're going to have to turn on the burner and then you're going to smoke up the kitchen for the second episode in a row. Still very sorry, Zach.
Should be.
Alright, so with the sauce, once it's all nice and blended together, get that little bit of edge folded in there. Should have a nice pink sauce with a little bit of dill in it. We're going to add just a little bit more for the road.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, the camera on my phone does not work very well. This is actually more of a pink than it is like a yellow mustard flavor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it must be washing me out something horrible.
Yeah, it's not doing you any favors.
Oh, well,
But
very few cameras do.
Yeah, but now there's that facial hair.
Perfect. So I'm going to take the kebabs out of the oven and then put the falafel back in. Because if my falafel isn't cooked right, then I'm going to feel awful. And if I feel awful, I'm going to lash out and that's going to make Zach feel wrathful.
I may kill you one day.
I'm certain you will. But not before I feed you.
True.
How do I get this? Oh, shit. No. I really need to buy an oven.
Woo!
Piss piss and shit, piss and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Nailed it. It's like a sick kick flick in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Alright, we're going to take these out of the oven and eep.
I see you're using gloves this time.
Yeah, you know, live and learn, that's what they always say. Or burn and learn. Let's see how the eggplant are faring. So what I'm going to try and do is just edge, I don't know if that's the verb, this off the angle so I can start taking it on and putting it on the plate. Oh, yes. And then you can see it's nice and charred. It's brown on the outside, but still got that like crumble on the inside. Ooh. Money. Alright, next up is going to be the plating step. So I'm going to take the plates. Alright, so take your bun. You'll need a bun, by the way. Cut it in half. Gently slide the patty onto the top. And then from there, we're going to put on a nice dollop of the yogurt sauce. Got it nice and thick on there. We're definitely down with the thickness in this house. Gonna take the slice of baked eggplant, double slice of yellow squash, a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. I ran out of Parmesan cheese stuff from the gas station. It'll work. And then yesterday I marinated some cabbage slices in sweet and sour pickle juice. So we're going to toss on a couple of those on for flavor. And one more. Now, toss that on there, and then we're going to take it over to the vegetable tray, where we're going to add the veggie kebabs. Get that nice splash of color. Boom! You have one Beirut burger bone at the teeth.